Hello, hello, hello. And then we're Valerie Cherish, and then now RuPaul. Hello, 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 everybody. It is time for another. We're going to talk Housewives today. It's a Pride Diego Day, so we added extra friends on. So regular commentators we have coming in today. Oh, here we go. Why is he not coming in? Okay, this. So we have Gunther Vanderpump in the house today over there with the Nina West pillow. And so I have Nelson sitting here with the Keaton shirt, Mayhem Miller of you. Okay. And also have our boys that are coming in today for this time. That is Colin Boudreau and Mr. Norwood. Thank you guys.
Hi.
He's so quiet.
Muted.
Oh, wait, go.
Okay.
It's like my first time using like so many people and doing this new like.
I remember.
Bear with us. Did you pay for that meeting?
Only fans.
Yeah, only fans. Okay, you guys, we have a lot for today, but we have Nelson with us before, and today we're going to have a little bit more discussion. So we're not going to be doing like the regular recaps, like by scene. We will kind of have that as our guide, but battle around a bit. And I think today, so I'm sorry, and Maddie, you guys, this is your very episode of Real House New York. I need thoughts. Okay, so give us some thoughts. How did you feel?
Vodka. There's lots of vodka. I mean, when Dorinda was pouring that glass, and it was like, you know, it puts Pecs to shame. I was like, oh, my liver.
And then she had the audacity to say, what happened? Rosé happened.
No, Rosé does not do that. I've got Rosé. Rosé does not do that. Rosé makes you happy.
Yes. So you guys get to the episode previous to this one. What happened?
No, we didn't watch. We hadn't watched any bit of it.
Okay,
We had like the 5 minutes before. I had to look up. I was like, where is the Berkshires? I was like, where is that?
Oh, yeah.
And then it was like Western
in
Massachusetts.
New York.
It's in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
It's in Western Mass.
Yeah. It's basically those places that they if you live in New York is not like the anti-ham.
Oh, okay.
Who's crying?
Stop chewing your ice, whoever.
I'm like, wait, who's crunchy?
Are you chewing your ice, Maddie? Do you have an iron deficiency?
He's like, I buy my tea. Okay, so back onto like this whole Real Housewives thing. So they were first. This is Dorinda that she had with her husband Joe.
I can still hear that weird sound.
What
I don't know
that?
what it is. It's like a gurgling, like monster or something.
D, it might be your mic. I know that new mic. It might be. We didn't have any problem earlier when we were testing it out when you weren't using your mic.
I'm holding mine right now, so now it's better.
I haven't unplugged it, so I don't know what it is.
Huh. Oh.
Using something. So it's very, very weird. I'm gonna mute you guys.
Here, I'll leave and come back.
Not that one. Not that one. Yeah. It's Nelson. It's Colin. No, it's Colin.
I don't know what it could be. I'm like,
there. Now we're back to normal.
Okay. Well, tell Nelson, Maddie, tell Nelson to get the headphones because he wasn't using headphones.
Yeah, that might be what it is. Okay, so. Okay, Maddie just left. Okay, so let's just keep on going with this whole thing. So this whole New York Housewives. So what happened previous to this? So I'll kind of like just fill you in, Colin. So what's great about this episode is that we actually had a 40-minute earlier moment. Okay, cute. Okay, so those of you guys didn't know, Movie Magic, those two are together.
I was like, don't you guys live together?
We all live together. The three of us all live together.
Well, there's no point. There's no point in like it's visually better to have 4. This is better.
No.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't
more
hear
fun.
I
But
don't hear any more gurgling, so this is good.
okay, then. So see, it wasn't the new mic, bitches.
It's your new fucking mic. Stop being so fucking rich, whore.
No. The thing is, and this is on a borrow.
Did you buy that with your stimulus check? Did Donald Trump buy that? Yes, I'm rich. Donald Trump rich.
I never got one.
Because you too rich, bitch.
I never got one. What are you guys talking about? I'm coming to you guys from
hold on,
Starbucks.
They're signing out of their OnlyFans right now.
You can't hear them.
I just bought 3 new subscriptions
Hold on.
last week.
Oh goodness! See, you got that stimulus check, and you're using it to stimulate.
I'm bored. I'm bored with Pornhub. There's nothing left to watch.
Right? I can't go to the gym. I can't go to the bathhouse. I can't go to the bars. Like, what is left to stimulate? Like,
Myself.
Is this your first
myself, yeah.
Prostate. Stimulate your prostate, boo.
Support sex workers.
Why not?
Okay, listen, I'm going to let people know that who are watching. If you guys want to comment on anything, you guys go ahead and comment. We can even bring your little comments up and we can talk about them. So those of you guys who are joining us right now, we are doing a new episode of Binge Bitches, and we have Colin and Maddie joining us for the very first time. They are brand new to the whole Housewives universe as of this summer because, little known fact, the Keep Me Bitch on the side is actually their new roommate, and he made them start watching the Beverly Hills situation. So now they wanted to
on
come
our
up
nice big 75-inch screen TV. It wasn't that he made us; it's that we were like, "Oh, let's just check it out. Why not? Why not?
Let's hate watch this.
Yeah, and here we are.
We'll
turned down this road, and now we live here.
Because the Beverly Hills stuff, there's some stuff about the show that I missed that I wish you guys knew about. So, but back into like this whole thing. So we're gonna kind of go into a little bit of the New York Housewives. So we know that they like to drink. Okay, so what happened here is that they were coming into this from an episode of the Berkshires. The Berkshires is always like a quintessential episode every season of New York Housewives since Dorinda has been there because she has this big home there, Bluestone Manor. That,
gorgeous.
Yeah, beautiful. It just got redone because she had all this damage that was there. And it's kind of the reason why Dorinda's kind of sad right now because she had to purge a lot of her late husband's things. So it just it rocked her whole world. And she's never really mourned him because she went right from that into like a rebound relationship that she's had since then. So Dorinda's been on the show for like 5 or 6 seasons now, but she's finally starting to admit that she really misses this man, and it's coming out as really vicious stuff towards all the other ladies. But anyways, we're at her house up here. It's a beautiful home. It has a whole history, and they've been drinking all day, as you can see. So this is the thing that's different about the New York Housewives in the Beverly Hills is that New York, they can spend they can do 3 episodes on 1.5 days. Whereas Beverly Hills has to sew together 3 weeks of stuff to get the girls to look interesting. That's the difference here because they just put they throw them in a room with alcohol, Adderall, and say, do it, ladies. And
lock the doors, lower the blinds.
Yeah.
So it's a fun thing. So the thing is, that's what's great about this episode is it starts off on a 40 minutes later, which is just sick because they've been drinking all day. You can see how drunk they are. They've ordered food. They've done the house party thing. I mean, this is basically like Provincetown Bear Week. That's what's happening right now.
Pretty much.
It's that first night that you get in that you all drink all day and then you finally need food and everybody's a mess. You work out your issues and you can have a nice rest of the weekend. So that's what you guys are witnessing. So from there, you guys got to meet Luann, who is newly sober. Sober.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Luann was in trouble last year. She was on probation, so she couldn't drink the whole entire season. And she was in AA because she was arrested in Palm Beach for being in somebody else's hotel room that she wasn't supposed to be in. When the police came, she told them that they were not allowed to come in. She ran the door into his face. And then when they went to arrest her, she told them, I'll kill you all. And then you can actually find footage of Luann slipping out of her handcuffs in the backseat of the patrol car.
Oh my God, I want this woman's life.
This is why you have to like go back and watch. They need to do a greatest hits of Luann and just to go through everything that she's done, like in life. But so that woman, so she's newly drinking. She had her first sip of alcohol earlier this season, and now she's just there with the rest of the girls, and they're locked and loaded. And this wasn't the first time in the Berkshire Strip where they showed somebody pouring a glass of vodka, basically. So, because Elise was doing that as well. So, thoughts here. I put heavy pours really big. Okay, the fight between Dorinda and Luann. Gunther, what are your thoughts?
It was amazing. It was prime TV. I just love, like, okay, you asked last week for something flowy. Well, Dorinda gave it to you this week with that gigantic dress or whatever she had on.
With kimono sleeves. She was wearing this in sequence.
Yeah. The
Like,
glittery
it just
kimono thing,
added-
that was gorgeous.
The updated
It
like,
added to the
tacky
fight.
Dress. Ugh,
But, like,
don't be started on those.
I just love how, like, they wake up the next morning and they're fresh as a fucking daisy. I need all day to get back to normal.
All day.
All day.
It's got to be like 1 p.m. though. Got to be. There's no way it's not.
It's morning.
I
They're
don't
having
get it.
breakfast.
No,
like
they're
Lies.
functioning.
Lies.
They're functioning at 11 a.m. at the
Yeah.
latest. And
Yeah.
meanwhile, Gunt and I are all wrapped up in blankets
Right.
with sunglasses on, just being like barely keeping it together at 6 p.m.
50
Yeah.
and 60-year-old women. 50
Then I
and
made-
60-year-old
Yeah.
moms.
They're like secretly getting like IVs or something. Like it's the only way. Like they're like, Ramona's like, let's order some IVs. Let's get the things going.
I'm gonna call my doctor. Don't worry, he'll be right over.
No, they pass
Yeah.
out, and then the production crew comes in and slips them my banana bags while they sleep
Yeah.
to replenish their fluids, and they just wake up feeling fine.
It's Adderall, cocaine, something else is happening there, you guys. Like there is something else. But the thing is and Dorinda, she's like putting on lotion and she's looking fresh as a daisy as she's
Right.
like, getting herself together.
Like
And
she
you're
looked better than she did the day before.
You just body checked somebody into a door and then went.
did. I mean, I was thinking she was totally going to hit Luann in the face with that thing if she wasn't careful.
Mhm.
Or like shove her like into the wall or something. I mean, Dorinda looks like she could, if she wants to check you across the room, she will.
So did you guys understand Giovanni?
No.
Wait, who?
Wait, wasn't that the chef?
Okay, so Giovanni. No, that's Colin Powell. Okay, so Giovanni, this is another so this is like backtracking into like Housewives histories. Okay, so Giovanni is like this whole it's a store. It's basically a store. It's a David's Bridal, but for like really, really elegant clothes and like high-end stuff. And so the thing is so it happened like a couple years ago when Luann had this cabaret. Luann has had a cabaret show that's been touring for like 3 years. COVID is the only thing that stopped her. So at this point, she had this. Dorinda introduced her to the people who owned Giovanni, and they went to this little. They went to this storeroom up in New York. Well, Luann kind of went behind Dorinda's back and got Giovanni to give her all of her clothes for her cabaret tour. And this is like 10 dresses, because the thing is they were saying that she would like leave the stage for 10 minutes and have somebody else perform so she can change. So she just keeps changing. So it was all these Giovanni dresses. So at this thing, Dorinda is basically heckling her at her cabaret show opening night. Giovanni, screaming it. So then Luann decides she's going to turn this around because it became kind of like a little history kind of a thing. And so with that, they did this whole, she released a single called Feeling Giovanni. Okay. And then now she's carrying around bags that say Giovanni because she's like their spokeswoman. So now at this point, they are like off the rails with this whole Giovanni thing. So Dorinda still feels some type of way about Luann doing this 2-3 years ago. So this is like pent up frustrations and all this stuff. She felt this about her. Like it just came out because she was drunk. That whole next day when they were in Lennox and like she's like trying to act like it was funny. No, you didn't go in that room to look for Luann like that. You went in that room to look for a bump. But anyway, allegedly.
I do feel like Luann's cries were like crocodile tears.
Oh,
yeah.
100%. She cried.
She wasn't
for
even crying.
minutes.
Yeah.
She cried for minutes. And then they turn her, like she would turn towards the camera. Not a tear.
Yeah,
Not a
nothing.
tear. Not a tear.
No running mascara.
No, nothing.
It's
No
all-
drop of moisture.
Yeah.
I think it's like all what do you call it? It's all the Botox. Like you can't even squeeze a tear out. You know what I mean? Like because
Yeah.
usually like you can force something. You know what
It's
I
like
mean?
those lacrimal ducts are just shut off.
You just
Oh,
They
Poke
are
yourself on the eye real hard. Let's run.
They're making diamonds in there.
Oh, so Leah and Ramona, they just decide to just leave. Okay, so like okay, let's go. We're gonna go. Another thing here too that was kind of like funny. Okay, so have you guys realized that Housewives is a game show? Have you guys realized this? So
In what context? Probably, but tell me the
in
context.
the context that they really, okay, some of them are really friends, and the better seasons are the ones when they're actually family members, because like that's when they're really, really deep and they cut each other hardcore. And New York is good for this because they are so close and they actually are all friends that they, like you saw this, they cut each other open and the next day they can hug it out and act like nothing in the world. So
True.
it's like family, that can happen. When you do that to like a friend that you barely know, then it's like you're dead. But going into this, like the whole thing with the whole Housewives, I if you look at it as they're breaking the fourth wall here and there now. Like they would never admit that they were shooting a show, and now that they're starting to kind of, these women are celebrities, so there's only one way to go with the show now. Because if you're showing their real life, you got to show the whole thing in perspective. But the whole game with Housewives, it doesn't matter what season it is and what you want the storyline. You want to drive the season because the more storyline you have, the more episodes you're in, the more that you get paid. Period. And that translates itself into promotional dollars, and it translates itself into book deals and, you know, Colin Cowley coming to your house and cooking you a free meal. You know what I mean? Like, yes, Dorinda has a really good past. Like we've talked about it in other episodes where her last husband was like business partners with George Soros. They had money. They had diplomats coming to their home all the time for dinner. She was a society woman. That's how she has this house. And so this whole thing is that, so when you saw this thing between Luann and Sonia that was happening, the fight was that you can't be in my cabaret show. Now the storyline can go two ways. Is it going to be about Luann and her cabaret show? Is it going to be about Sonia being upset because she's a funny girl and it's not fair that she's not getting paid? The story followed Luann. So that's why Ramona left Sonia. Do you see? Like, so it's kind of like that. So you stack your chips in a way. And so it's not as apparent on New York Housewives as like Beverly Hills. And so that's like me, like some people, when they watch the shows, they don't like to like acknowledge that it's a show. But if you acknowledge that it's a show, it's a lot deeper, because when they get mad at each other, it's because you took away promotion from me. It's one of the biggest fights in the history of Housewives was Bethany versus Jill. Bethany Frankel with her skinny girl margaritas and everything. Those two were a fight one of the very first seasons of New York, that it wasn't a fight that was on camera because it had to do with a Good Morning America appearance. And the Good Morning America appearance wanted both Jill and Bethany, and Jill called behind Bethany's back and tried to cut Bethany out so she can bring on her wares.
Bad idea.
And that's when that turned into a fight, and so then that transposed itself all the way down into this time now, that when we have Jill come back for like little spotlights, we will still bring that stuff up. So if you look at Housewives that way, it makes it more fun in my sense. So I think it's kind of like it's like a sport, you know what I mean? Like who's gonna pull the shit? And so and you're seeing, so like, and when we spin over, so I want to talk about Beverly Hills, but like let's see, what else do we want to talk about on New York? Because then I want to talk about.
Who was Luann looking at in the camera? She was just like looking off into nowhere.
Oh, she did. She kept kind of being like up here.
I think she was looking. It felt like she was looking to make sure the camera was on her.
But she wasn't looking at the camera.
No, seriously, because
No,
there
they
were
don't really
two
look at the
cameras on
camera in
either
these shows.
side, and it was like
Okay.
she was like, "Okay, are you looking at me over here now? Like, make sure
Are
you
you
get
getting
me."
this? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's really what it is. It's like why would you do something if it's not gonna? I mean, like last week. So you guys, if you guys catch a rerun just per chance, watch it of the week before because it was a game to everybody to take the camera with them. Ramona kept running from room to room as they were fighting, so a camera would follow her. So and then the same thing happened with Luann later in the evening, and she was upset that Luann was running from one state to the next, which I wanted in the big kimono sleeves. I need them in sleep in New York. You got it.
I was changing our switch sides too.
It works. Okay. So anything else from this? I know next week we're gonna break the fourth wall. Oh, how did you guys feel about the guy that Leah brought home?
He was hot.
Bartender was cute.
Yeah.
He had a little bit of an accent, right? Was that?
I think so. Yeah.
Massachusetts. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was just like country Massachusetts.
Yeah. He's a bartender.
He could
so get it.
I love how surprised she looked at that Dorinda started talking his head off as soon as she got the chance.
Right.
They did a time lapse. It was a time lapse moment where they
right.
And like it looked like Ramona was coming over.
She looks all surprised, like
Ramona just laughed. She was like, Ramona's like, fuck it, I'm not gonna get any of this. Like, so I love all of the Sonia just repeating people when she's drunk. Like she just like you'll just hear her off on the side.
She like I love when the part where like she was hugging somebody and they were like trying to like they were like, here, let me go see what's happening. And she's like, no. Yeah, that was
oh yeah, it was
her camera with Ramona.
Yes.
Yeah, wait. So Luann, tall brunette.
Yeah.
And short hair, daggy haircut, like, and with her house. And then Elisa's the married to the mob. No,
that's Leah.
That's Leah.
Yeah.
Leah's married.
Leah's married
to the mob.
Elisa's the black hair that was kind of doesn't add much.
Okay.
She's a friend.
Oh, that's right. Elisa.
She does that.
And then Sonia was like in the cabaret show, and then Ramona. That's the other one.
Yes, Ramona's the one who.
So who's Ramona? Wait, which one was that?
The toilet.
Ramona's the one who clogged the toilet.
Ramona clogged the toilet.
Oh yes.
There's a baby turd.
I love the tiny little. She's like the baby turd. We all saw it. It was there.
So gross.
And I loved how they were like plunging and they would like go at it once. I'm like, that's not how you plunge.
Like, plunge a couple times.
How about when Sonia fell at the table and she like just...
Oh man, that was funny. Like clearly none of you have ever cleaned out and clogged a toilet when you're
Sonia in the bubble bath. Okay, Sonia in the bubble bath is goals for life. Like be,
oh my god, that was great.
Be in your friend's mansion.
I thought for sure she was gonna go under at one point.
She's like, I hope this drains.
We're serious. Dorinda just had well, the Colin Cowie of it all, he was there. Oh, and we have to talk about Heather.
I would for a shower, literally, like if it's glass.
Why are they freezing?
They froze. That's a great screenshot right there.
It's so clean.
Yeah, it's okay.
We're here.
Stop signing on to your OnlyFans. You can go 1 hour.
Okay, so the whole Colin Cowie dinner that we had, and Megan, so we had Heather. We had an appearance with Heather.
So I have a question about that.
Uh-huh.
So Dorinda said, did you watch What Happens Live?
I didn't watch that.
Okay. Well, Dorinda made a comment saying that she didn't think that she's allowed to invite people that aren't cast members. So who invited Heather then? Was it production that was like, let's invite Heather?
I think Dorinda's saying that, but I think that I think they're allowed to bring whoever. I mean, look at
because they're in the Berkshires, right? So they're not like in Manhattan where like they would normally just have like a party and anyone could show up. Like you have to get a plane ticket, take a ferry, however you get there.
It's 3 hour drive. And the thing is Heather owns a house like 3 blocks away from Dorinda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they live near each other. What is going on?
But I guess Jill was in the Berkshires that weekend and tried to get
Oh
there.
no.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what Dorinda was saying on Watch What Happens Live.
Oh, you know what? I did hear something about that. I can hear them now, but we don't see them. Boys, log out and log back in. I'm here for the Beverly Hills. Like of it all.
Nelson,
So
you're like the golden child for this. You know what you're doing this time.
Yeah, for real.
It only took a year. It only took a year.
Okay, they're coming. They're coming back. Yay. Okay. I'm gonna wait till they get themselves settled. So we'll bring them back. But anyway, so Heather was there. She only gave us one, hey, how are you doing, mama? She didn't give us a hey, mama.
No holla.
Yeah, no holla. Like,
Hey, mama.
okay.
What?
Is Colin Cowie, like, I've met him before in real life, and he's one of those people I can't tell if he's attractive or tall. You know what I mean?
What do you mean, tall and attractive? Like, is he
attractive, or is he just tall, and that's why you think he's attractive? Like, you know, sometimes when people are tall,
He's
you're
all
like,
right.
huh?
He's all right.
I don't know. He might be cute.
Before the plastic, he might have been cute. Like, there's a lot of fillers happening. What is going on in that room of theirs?
She's getting more alcohol.
Rosé all day.
I cannot. It is a party. Okay, so everybody, hello. This is the Pride episode. And it's happening.
Right, it's Pride. It's Pride. Let's be drunk already.
Pride. Happy Pride.
Totally. Cheers. Okay, so then I think the only other thing I think that we had in here was just that, Elise and Leah made out for a second. Gross.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to see that.
It seems so staged for the show because they were all like, no, there wasn't even tongue. It was just,
Okay.
and like only one of them seemed into it even.
I'm sure she gives great head.
Do you guys still like Leah Gunther?
Yes, I do.
How about you,
Leah?
There's something about her that, like, it's gonna crack here pretty soon, you guys. Something bad, like I don't.
Like, gonna get murdered, or
no? Her and Dorinda are still getting along right now, and the thing is next year those two are gonna hate each other. You can just feel it. They're too much alike. The other side note too is that so this past week has been on. We've seen it on Instagram and everything else. I'm not sure if people have been like. People are aware. I'm gonna like control their volume thing. For some reason, it keeps going back and forth. But anyways, so over on Instagram right now, what they have going on was that Elise sent a cameo out to. I think you guys are back on now. Okay, so Elise sent a cameo to a person where she's basically saying hello, and then Leah comes into frame and says that. Ramona doesn't have a man because whenever she has sex, she shits. So comment this past week.
That's a mean accusation.
We've all been there before.
And she just she like floats into the thing and she says that she shits when she has sex. And so it's become this whole thing. There's memes. Look at my IG because I know I posted a bunch of them and stuff. So I've been like pushing them out. Elise is
like the real thing or your story?
What?
Is it the real thing or your stories? I don't watch stories.
Yeah.
It's in my stories. It's in my stories. You gotta start watching stories.
Just show me your dick.
My history forever. That's stuff that I put out there and let it go away.
Do the way I like this part.
Yeah, that doesn't get timeline space. Okay, so anyways, so there's that whole thing that Elise is just working overtime right now to try to get this Apple situation she wants to be on. Okay, so let's flip over to Beverly Hills Housewives. Okay, so now
I'm gonna call it right now. I'm gonna call it right now and say that by next episode, everybody in the pool fighting Wild Things style because there are so many conflicts waiting to start happening in that house. Like, oh, it's a recipe for disaster.
It's Kyle. Kyle wanted this episode to be around her. Kyle's a terrible person, and everybody should.
Awful.
She like.
But she's the only one who's also hosting events. I mean, like none of the other girls have hosted events at their homes at all, except for who hosted something at their house this year? Denise did. Denise did. That was
Denise
it. But
did.
you know, like Lisa Rinna hasn't hosted anything at her house, I think, ever.
She did a fashion show. Like,
Kyle wants to be the Vanderpump, period.
Yeah.
So she's taking all the parties. She's taking all those moments.
I mean, if we're being honest, too, Vanderpump had the best house. I mean, out of all the girls.
And now Kyle does.
Kyle does, yeah.
That
I mean, Rinna does too, I think. So, but
well, Erica does. Erica has an amazing house, but like, but Mr. Girardi's there, and it's like having a goat in the background.
Well, they're also in Pasadena though, too, so they're not like in Beverly Hills.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing is that the thing is you know that everybody. That's why everybody hates visiting each other. Like in the beginning of this episode, Kyle didn't want to go all the way out to Camille's house and take that.
That's true. Malibu's kind of far.
Malibu's far.
Oh my god! She left the night before. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So from Beverly Hills over to Malibu, and like you show up and you still want to be happy, please.
She took a red eye.
Yeah.
Seriously.
She had someone drive her. It doesn't matter.
No, there's still traffic. No matter who's driving, it's still traffic.
Okay, so I want to know now. So let's just talk a little bit about Colin and Maddie for a moment because they're our guests into the fold today. So I want to know, what were your original thoughts of this when you guys first started watching Beverly Hills? Like what how did you guys were you guys attached from the very beginning, or were you guys like, okay, I'm gonna watch this with Nelson because he's here?
Well, we were in for the drama, but then we had no idea, just because then we learned, just the other night about New York, and that one's like Beverly Hills on crack, man. We thought we thought Beverly Hills was dramatic, and then we watched an episode in New York, and we're like, wow.
We're 3 episodes, now 4 episodes of the whole like talking about a threesome around their fucking kid, around Denise's fucking kids. And I will say, I'm in the middle, but Denise is very much in the right here.
Yes.
That you don't if she doesn't want those conversations around her kids, she doesn't want those conversations around her kid. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Now, there are some other things going on there that she shouldn't have done. Oh, it's not a big deal, and then talk about it. That's where I kind of see Rinna's point of view of she's like, you said it wasn't a big deal, but clearly it's still a big deal. And fuck her crystal husband.
And now it's a big deal because what did she do? She brought her husband in to argue it for her. And that's a bad idea. He is being condescending to the girls, just shutting them down about their stupid shit.
Hope you feel good about yourself.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Hope you feel good about your fucking crystals, you idiot.
He's not getting paid. He's not getting paid. And he's I love that you guys are into this. So do you guys have favorites?
I love Erica Jane. I fell in love with Erica Jane for that line where she was surprised that Denise had a problem about them talking about a threesome. She's like, these sluts? Come on. And that's when I was like, I'm sold. I'm here.
I don't know. I think I might like Dorit the most.
I do love Dorit.
As much as
amazing what they have done with Dorit. Dorit is now the favorite. She's the golden child of the show. She's the reasoning right now. And it's when the fuck did this happen? Because when Dorit started, everybody hated her. She was horrible.
Garcelle's
our favorite also, by the way. Garcelle is our favorite.
Even though Garcelle is never with the group. We're like 3 or 4 episodes in, we're like, does Garcelle actually hang out with these people? Because it's more like Beverly Housewives featuring Garcelle,
she's
on her own side story.
A shame, because she's amazing.
She writes her own schedule. She
really does.
That is
I guess I'll show up.
And just to your point, she's not Garcelle is not. She has no interest in playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
She has no interest in playing the game. That's why, and that's why she's on Team Denise with everything, because she has I don't know,
She had an opening to start a storyline, and Garcelle fell flat, and that was the only problem there. is that
Yeah, I mean, I love her. I love her.
She
her
had the
whole-
moment with Kyle when she called Kyle out from the stage, basically, and said that like, oh, maybe not all of them. And then when Kyle was there, and then when she was like, well, I just feel like sometimes you aren't really interested in me. And then when Kyle said something back, she should have had a retort. She had nothing else to say.
Yeah, she just dropped it.
Yeah,
she just let it go.
She's not playing the game, but she's doing fine on her own. So I don't think she wants.
I think Garcelle will get her for another season. And the thing is like, this is kind of a safe space that Denise sat in last year. Was that she wasn't always mingled with the girls, but when Denise was in with the girls, Denise was clocked in with the girls. And that's what the whole happy ending conversation happened. Her husband was a dick, all these kind of things. But yet again, she says it when her kids aren't there in the room.
Yep.
So I think that's a big part of it. So, what I was going to say here. So getting back into like where the episode is right now. And so, okay. This episode, you guys, was like Avengers. It was Justice League. it was like
the portals opened and everybody started appearing, and you're just like, oh, they're there. Oh, they're there too. Oh, who's that?
We need Kathy Hilton and Kris Jenner on this show. We need that money on this show.
I think Kathy, but Kris has already got her own stuff with the Kardashians, so
yeah, I was thinking. But I think that's why she didn't even really say that much.
Kris Jenner will fight for that crown with Kyle because you just want to win, and she can take over. She can do Vanderpump. She got 2 shows going on. It's fine.
Would Kyle even put up a fight though against Kris Jenner?
She knows better.
She will because it's her show. She will because she's locked into that show. It's hers. So, history of the show. The show was originally supposed to be surrounding. It was originally supposed to be a show around the Richards sisters. It was Kathy Hilton, Kyle Richards, and Kim Richards were supposed to be who the show was surrounding. Kathy Hilton pulled herself out, like because of all the stuff that with Paris and The Simple Life and everything. She didn't want that kind of fame, and she thought this was going to be another one of those like wild orchid kind of shows or whatever those things were. So then they brought this background. They were like, let's make it Beverly Hills Housewives. And then they brought in Adrienne Maloof, who we saw this week with her husband, Paul.
Which looked bad. Her face looked awful.
Yeah.
Both do.
It's like,
which one?
Adrienne Maloof. Yeah. Her eyes were very catty. They were like almost.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's because Paul's
like
not
working doing her face.
But also Brandy. I remember when Brandy just joined the show, and now since then, I mean, she's got the cat eye thing going. She's had a lot of work done since.
Brandy had. Yeah, Brandy had. I think she sued a doctor or something because she had really bad Botox and it paralyzed half her face for a while.
Oh wow!
So yeah, it was really bad. And so,
I had that happen once, not with Botox, but with Bell's palsy.
My face is droopy.
How long does that last?
Mine was a very mild case, so mine was about a week. But it was like I remember we had done like a night out. This was pre-Maddie. This was pre-Maddie days too. So this was back February 2014. Gone out, done a number. It was fun. And then I remember the next day, like my eye just like really watering, but like I was kind of hungover, yada, yada. And then like Monday I'm at work and my eye is just watering nonstop. And I'm like, I start to like try and move my eyebrow and I'm like, I can't move my eyebrow. So I popped up from I was in a cubicle farm at the time and I like popped up and looked at my coworker. I was like, hey, watch my eyebrows. Are they both moving? And she's like, no, your right eyebrow's not moving. And I was like, fuck, I've got Bell's palsy.
You were the doctor, or you just diagnosed yourself?
I knew exactly what it was. It's a temporary one-sided facial paralysis caused by the cranial nerve 6 being inflamed. I used to want to be a doctor, so I do have a little bit more medical knowledge than like.
Watch out, Mary Medicine. She's gonna be a new cast member.
You guys are a couple. Do it.
Dr. Quinn. Paging Dr. Quinn.
Paging Dr. Candy.
So that's my Bell's palsy story.
Okay, so with this whole thing, so that's like kind of what this background is. So Kyle's been top dog. She's been around since season 1. So the thing is, she is the catalyst to have all these other ladies that are like joining her into this whole the lunch between. Well, so we have Camille. Did you guys understand the background with Camille? Did you guys get that?
Yes, because the show showed the clips where she was, burning all the bridges at the reunion, saying that she was pissed she couldn't say a nice thing about Vanderpump because then she felt like everybody would attack her.
Mm-hmm. Camille?
No, I don't get it.
Camille?
What's that?
Camille's an all-star, and they need to give her back a diamond because she is a catalyst for drama. And the thing is and Camille's not afraid to take on all the other girls. Camille's got fucking money. She got.
Of course she's a catalyst for drama. Look at what Rinna said within 2 seconds of seeing her. You're an asshole on Twitter.
A drive-by. That was a drive-by. That was a complete drive-by when she just came up to her in a party. I'm glad that you're here, but you're an asshole on Twitter. No, I mean, like, just saying to tell you, you're not like. Yeah. So how is she not? How are you not going to feel some other type of way but go back at her?
Yeah,
that's how I'm going to greet people from now on.
Yeah, right. You're an asshole on Twitter.
You're an
I don't
asshole
have any
on
beef with you,
Facebook,
but you're an
asshole on TikTok.
Yep.
just back. Nathan Parker just messaged me about the Bell's palsy because he's watching.
But like, if you, it's so thing. Oh look, he said. Haha, Nathan Parker.
Hey, Nathan.
Oh, and then he does remember that night. See? That's awesome. So anyway, back into
that's a different binge, bitches.
Yeah. So back into our binge here. So the whole thing is so we have like all of this like fun drama that's going to happen around Camille. Camille in the past, I mean, she's been season 1. You're such a fucking liar, Camille. I mean, like, so you guys should go back and watch that movie. Just watch Beverly Hills Housewives because you're going to be satisfied. It's new.
I mean, it's going to happen.
We almost did with the month lapse for this last episode because I was like, Nelson, I'm starting to Jones. I need another episode of Housewives.
We've been going back and watching Drag Race.
See, and you guys too, because we're going to start covering, because Potomac is going to be coming up here because we're going to run out of Housewives soon. The Beverly Hills has shot their finale. It was a 13-hour shoot.
They shot did they do that in person or did they do that via Zoom?
Yeah, how did that work?
I think they did it socially distance in person somehow. And I think what they did was they had all the girls quarantining for a full 14 days so they can actually get together.
Oh, that makes sense.
There's some images of the 5 of them, like they're calling themselves the Ragamuffin group or whatever, which is really mean. But like that group is like hanging out and they're doing like stuff. So I think that they did have them do this because there's also rumors out there that like right now New Jersey, the Housewives, the reason why like Teresa and all them are posting old pictures is because they're all quarantined by themselves so they can actually start talking to each other and being in the same room so they can pick up because New Jersey stopped filming in the middle. So like you were fighting a bit and now
so did OC too. OC stopped filming in the middle for a little bit too.
Yeah. And so we'll see where that ends up coming back. And that's not gonna work because what Kelly Dodd is doing. I had to unfollow her. But I do we'll see how this all goes because we're gonna be covering Potomac. Potomac is a good one. That one last season was fireworks. That it's perfect because they're not famous yet. So we had this Lisa gaslighting Denise Moore at that lunch.
At the lunch.
They met for lunch and they had grapefruit juice and fries.
Oh my god.
That's what we were saying. We were just laughing so hard. Like Denise has the weirdest diet. Like, because remember last time she went and like Aaron had a steak and she only had mashed potatoes and a salad with cucumbers, shaved Parmesan cheese, no salt, no pepper, no dressing. Like, what the fuck does she eat? Like, does she eat anything?
That's
like,
she
And
only
that
had
poor
like
server is pissed
fries.
off because they're like, y'all just came and ordered French fries and grapefruit juice. Get the fuck out of my station. Because you know it took them like 3 hours to film that episode.
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, and they were all by themselves, so they had to like block out a whole section for them too. Like, they never
absolutely, yeah.
In some
They
cases,
don't want people to
half
know
the
how long
restaurant.
they're actually sitting there, because that's the other thing too, is that sometimes those scenes they go on forever, and it's like one of those things that Brian Moylan's talked about was that you may be meeting somebody for lunch, but if you don't give the producers anything to bite onto, then you're sitting there for an hour, 2 hours, until you bring up the subject that you need to bring up. So let's put it on the table. This whole
half a day on some cases. My restaurant I worked at in Santa Monica, they filmed the Shaws of
Sunset.
Yeah, the Shaws of Sunset. They filmed an episode there. We were closed for half a day. It was literally like 3 or 4 p.m. They started at 9 a.m. before they finished just a lunch, and that was it.
And they bring them in at the times. It's like not everybody doesn't show up at the same time. It's like we got to bring her in first, so we can videotape them sitting down. Then we'll bring the other one in. It's a rigmarole, the whole thing of it. But so yeah, this whole thing, Colin, you hit it on the head earlier, because that's my feeling too, is that she just doesn't want the shit around her kids when they're in the room, and so and Rena's whole thing about, okay, well, we kept bringing it up. Well, she kept bringing it up because you guys, there was a new person in the room each time that she saw you guys. That was the other part of it. So how about Sutton was inconsequential in this whole episode? They did a flashback with her at a lunch.
Yeah. Like, I feel like if these were the New York girls, this would literally be squashed in 5 minutes. Like, be like,
one episode.
Okay, yes, I'm very free and sexual. My husband and I go to strip clubs. My husband and I don't talk about our adventures at the strip clubs around our children. There's a big difference.
Or that it's okay that we talk about threesomes. We just don't talk about it being 2 dicks versus 1 vagina, that kind of things. We don't get into specifics.
10 feet
There
away
you
from
go.
you.
Exactly.
Okay, you guys just reminded me of something from New York that I just got to go back and we have to just talk about for one quick second. So, Leah admitted to peeing on a prince.
Oh yeah,
she did.
And then Luann, when Luann's like, when they're like, she just said that she peed on a prince. And then Luann's like, Luann had to think about it. Did she pee on a prince too? Like, Luann was like, Luann used to be a whore. She used to run around Europe. She was a TV, in Italy. She was a TV host. She was a nurse in a former life. She was married to a count. So Luann's had a life. But she would be like, have I peed on a prince? Like, she took a moment to think about that. And it was
she's having to go back through her Rolodex being like, wait, did I pee on him?
So that means she has definitely peed on someone.
Yeah.
She has definitely peed on someone.
That guy was a judge.
I had to think,
like, so
yeah, she said I peed on him, and I was like, wait, what?
That's the difference too. Is like, you missed the week before where Leah was like, I just want a tongue in my asshole. Like, Leah said that on tape. Like, so the thing is,
here's to that, girl.
There's a big difference between New York and Beverly Hills. So
that's why I love Leah.
Yeah, I think you have to though. Yeah, I love her apartment. Okay.
Wait, backtrack. Dangilo, I don't want to upset you with this, but I have to say it. I don't like Sutton. I don't like Sutton. She basically is there to kind of like just the second somebody is like, well, I have a problem with, she's like, oh, you have a problem with? And then somebody's like, I felt a type of way, and she's like, oh, you felt a type of way? Like she just reiterates whatever is said.
But wait, the whole thing that went down at Rena's kids like fashion show, like that was stupid. Like that was also fucking stupid, and like I felt super bad for Sutton.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Sutton's fashion show?
No, this is, I'm going back a few episodes.
Yeah, Lisa Rena's kids fashion show.
Yeah. Or like Sutton was like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about seeing this person. She said something, she was just having an internal monologue out loud. And was it Dorit?
Dorit brought it up.
Yeah, and see Dorit, I like Dorit now, but like that was my second episode, I think. And I was like, God, this girl's a bitch. Like, she's just trying to, like, I felt bad because Sutton was just having an internal monologue out loud that I identify with that. There are parts I think when I like, as I watch the show, when I feel for the girls, like there are parts of them that I identify with, and like Sutton's like anxiety like really comes through, and like she's very Southern. She's very worried about.
She's a first year girl. She's never done it before, and she's above her head.
Yeah. She is thinking about things that haven't happened yet. She's having fights in her head.
Hypothetical arguments I've won in the shower.
But the thing is,
she's going through these hypothetical arguments and vocalizing them sometimes, and then that comes back to bite her in the ass.
And this is why you're on Housewives. This is why you play the game. Rinna plays the game. She locks in. She does a drive-by. She will go and like tell you you're an asshole to your face. She doesn't have a fight.
Yeah, Rinna will be on that show forever because she will blatantly blurt out the stuff that everybody will only say in confessional, you know?
And sometimes I don't think Lisa Rinna even believes it. I sometimes think that she's just doing it just to do it.
Absolutely. That's at least 50% of her questions is just to be the one to say it.
Mm-hmm. Faye Resnick was in this episode. So,
but Faye was very quiet. She didn't give us the Faye Resnick, that we got with Brandy when she was like, no matter how many Chanel bags you borrow, you'll never be a lady. Like, we're not getting that bitchy Faye Resnick that we kind of want. Yeah. We're just getting her being Kyle's close friend. That's it.
Do you guys get all the Hollywood connections here too with Faye Resnick and what's happened here? Because
I missed.
They connect three dots tonight. You actually look around. So with Faye Resnick, who is Miss Kyle's best friend, and she's also like an interior designer and whatnot. Faye Resnick was Nicole Brown Simpson's best friend when Nicole was killed. So Faye Resnick is the one who wrote the book about her. You can read it. I have an audio version of it. It's amazing. So the thing is, and in that audio book, they actually talk about the friendships there. So Nicole Brown Simpson was best friends with Faye Resnick, who was best friends with Kris Jenner.
Kris Jenner, yeah.
Who was best friends with the Jenner sisters and Kathy Hilton. So this is how they all kind of go together. So it would be, I would believe that if Nicole Brown Simpson was alive, she'd be a housewife. She'd totally be in the house.
Oh, totally. She would totally be a housewife.
Absolutely.
She'd be a kick-out.
And she would be the best one.
Mm-hmm. But there's that here. So Faye Resnick really didn't bite into anybody this episode. I have a lot of things here that, like, Dorit just really had a great episode today. She had a really good one. They are making her the good one. They're making her like the light. Erica's kind of being boring. Her storyline's the same thing. Like, Erica did something new.
But she's getting some good quotes out of it. Check me out. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, come see about me.
Oh, that's what it is. Come see about me. I don't give a fuck. Yeah.
I think Erica's just so focused on Chicago, though, that like I don't think she was really even caring about where this is gonna go. Like, she's just like, in her mind, she's focused on that and moving to New York and getting there. That she's like, this drama, fuck it. Like, I'm done. Like, let's get to Chicago already. Like,
I feel like Erica's getting a lot of quotes from her gays. You know what I mean? Like,
she is.
What's gonna look good on a hat? Say this, Erica. You know what I mean? Like, Mikey,
while they're doing her hair,
what happened to Mikey? Mikey's the one who normally does her hair. She had new makeup and hair people this time too.
Mikey doesn't do the hair. Mikey's just the creative director for
just the looks, like puts the looks together. But he's usually there in the room, and he wasn't there. So, and she has new hair and makeup guys because before she used to have like these buff, like muscle bear dudes.
He's with the Pussycat Dolls right now.
Oh, we need to watch those episodes. Let's go look those episodes. Show us those episodes, Nelson.
Mikey is her. So Mikey is her stylist, creative director, all that kind of thing. But he's actually the creative director and everything for Pussycat Dolls. That's where he kind of got his whole start, and that's where like the sex hotness of it all. If you look at, Erica could be a Pussycat Doll. I mean, put her in there with Nicole. It could happen. But it's all that. Oh, so Garcelle had that crazy meeting with the director who rewrote the whole movie.
Oh yeah, that was wild and so uncomfortable because you knew that wasn't what she wrote. You could tell just by her face.
Yeah.
And you brought this girl into tape. You were gonna shoot like you know, this is Hollywood, girl. Like, this isn't your big break, is it? Like, come on.
And the director just kept going. It wasn't just that she changed it. She just kept going. Like, she's like, oh, it was not a good presentation. She's like, because like halfway through, she's like, oh, and she's been married to this guy. Oh, and she secretly hates this person. And I'm like, still? Oh my God. Like, how deep does this go?
Well, then they ended it with basically like, Erica, why don't you direct it? And like, Erica, why don't you keep all that money, bitch? Yeah, you pay yourself. Anyways, so that was kind of like Erica's like big theme, besides the fact that she brought a date to the whole thing. So it's like, Erica, lock in here. Like, go defend Denise. Go sit next to Denise and get into these fights. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I want Garcelle to go sit next to Denise and get into the fight. Like, be there for your girl. Like, if you want to play the game, get in. So it's time for Garcelle to clock in, because I know that she can hold her own. Okay, so this is another thing. So like New York, we will pack in all those scenes of like drinking and fighting and blah, blah, blah. In this, we get 5 minutes of them getting ready and putting shoes on. And this is something I miss that Colin and Maddie, if you guys go back and watch. And do you remember this, Gunther? In the beginning episode, like in the beginning, we would always see the price tag. And I missed that a little bit. Like when they would show the price tag of things. Like,
they used to do that like in the beginning, like, this is how much this costs, this is how much that costs.
In the beginning of Beverly Hills Housewives, I mean, they would show like the house would be like $5.6 million. They would her shoes, they'd be like $4,500. And they would just flash on the bottom like they do people's names. So that was like,
I think that all kind of went away after Teresa's big thing, because they used to do that on Jersey too. And when Teresa got in trouble with everything, I think they stopped doing that because it was like people were like the IRS or whatever was watching it, and it's like, okay, so they paid this much for this and this much for that. So
or they
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, I never thought about that before. That's huge. You can see. You guys need to watch New Jersey too. That's like this is like good dramas and stuff for you guys to get into.
I know. I've heard legends of that, table flip, but I still have yet to actually witness it myself.
I'm gonna give the best episode.
Oh, please do. Oh my God, send us the best episodes and we will watch it. I guess if anything, that's what like slows us. Or, because you don't want to end up coming in on an episode where nothing happens.
Yeah, see, because you need the good ones, like the meatiness of like things that are like really, really fun. But we have that PK scene with Dorit where she's basically like, Baba, why don't you tell him to not talk to the girls this way? I'm like, okay, Dorit.
And that conversation was awkward as fuck.
Oh yeah, that like. Well, Aaron just was not listening either. Was Aaron like super stoned? Like, where was he?
That's what we've been wondering is if he's totally like wrecked by the time he even comes on camera, because he seems either one, not willing to talk about anything, or B, like it all just kind of glazes over because when he tried to talk to him, he was like, so I hear you've been having some drama. No.
That's the thing. He didn't want to feed into it. I don't think he wanted to go there. But plus, I have a little issue with that, with how PK did it. He did it during the auction. You should be paying attention. You should be donating, you dumb bitch. And this is because he knows that he wasn't going to be giving any money because he doesn't have any. His wife has all the money now. Like, they fully have admitted that he has no money anymore. Haven't they this season? Like, so he wasn't paying attention to like when the paddle raise was. But like in that conversation with them together, he basically said something like, when you see him going up a tree, you can't climb up that tree. You have to bring him down from the tree or something. Like it was like some.
I missed that whole thing. I don't know. Like it was a really interesting point of the episode for me. So.
That's what PK said. Is like when you see him going up the tree, you can't go up the tree yourself. You have to bring him down. And like oh, okay. And then Aaron
got some weird logic.
Aaron goes, well, when they say a question, you got to answer. Okay. Like, okay. And okay, Aaron's voice too. Like Aaron has one of those like Saved by the Bell like hook voices, you know, like the character actors who would just like come in all of a sudden, like you can't poke a bear, you know what I mean? Like it's just like these random like he's got like Skinamax voice, you know what I mean? Like that's his cadence. That's him. Oh my god, it's good.
That's what makes the condescending stuff so much worse. Is the tone. It sinks in so much heavier. He's just like, just stop, let it go. It's really a plea, but it sounds super condescending because of his like the way he talks and his voice.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he's doing. Like he's above his head. And so, and if he hasn't come for Rinna that way, Rinna hasn't been there for these. Because she'd actually stand up, I think, a little bit more than the other ones. And she's never in the ring for them. She's always in New York. She's always, I mean, like, so Rinna's a town. Like, let your daughters go.
I mean, Erica's standing up enough, I feel.
I think Erica is, but, like, Erica, she's done with the mansplaining and all that kind of a thing. I want more from Erica. I just need something else. Like, the thing is...
Go balls out. She seems like the type to go balls out, but yet her confrontation with Aaron was just, don't go there. Oh, let's go there. Oh, I live there. Like basic. You're better than that, Erica. Just call him out.
Yeah, and like because Erica, she's great. We talked about this last week. Is that Erica does stillness better than anybody? Is that you can sit there and like she cannot give you a moment on the face or anything, and this just tells you the kind of fights that her and her husband have. I mean, period. Like so, because he's with the lawyer who's going to use everything against her, so she's not going to talk. You know what I mean? When she's talking, when she's fighting, and so Erica, she should slam him then. You know what I mean? When you have the moment to talk, and she's not really doing it. She's not like going there. She's like keeping her composure for like reasons that I don't understand. You're always going somewhere. Just do it, bitch. Like go there. You know what I mean? Yeah, put the kibosh out and like let it happen. Oh, we've seen Eileen Davidson.
Yes.
Okay. She was half okay. Okay, so like Eileen always has something dusty. Like there's always like, Eileen, where did you get that? Like I got it in the 80s. I got it on sale. Like, you know, that's how Eileen's style is. And Eileen has like this new brown hair. She's got the boobs out. We've never seen Eileen like there.
I know, her boobs were out. They looked good. She looked good.
Well, why was she wearing capris?
She was wearing capris?
Yes, when they backed up from it, like when they backed up on the outfit, it was like, why is she wearing a pillow pusher, though, bitch? Like, why you always ruin it? Like,
I think she was wearing like, wasn't she like in a pantsuit, like a romper? That's what it looked like.
Yeah, but capris at an event like that.
You know, it's like you should have left that like in 2013, like the capri pants. Like, what did I hear recently about the capri pants? Like it was like the Fault in Our Stars, full stop. Like when you see that kind of stuff, like that's what
it was nice to see Erica and Eileen and Rinna together in the same car. Like that's the car you want to be in. You want to be partying with those girls in that car. But they weren't partying, it looked like. So
what are they doing?
They're having technical difficulties.
No, we're not having that. It's a super important work thing. I'm sorry. I deal with people.
We're gonna bring Maddie in here.
She'll be back.
Okay, so as we keep on going on here, so this whole thing with Camille.
Wait, capris. I wanted to talk about capris. If you're gonna wear capris to an event like Kyle's, you may as well have shown up in shorts. Real talk.
Well, that's the thing though, is like Kyle doesn't have great fashion either. Like she was sitting there getting her hair done and she was like, I'm either gonna wear this nice white thing with blah blah blah. Yeah. I'm gonna wear a tuxedo from my collection. And her hairstyle is like, that thing is ugly. And she's like, say my collection.
Hers is a
She's like, say my collection.
Yeah. The tuxedo looked good on her though. I mean, I thought that was a great piece. I mean,
it did look good.
Her hairstyle looks like a ragamuffin.
Yeah.
Her style looks like a ragamuffin. Her hair did.
Okay, but look at her husband's style.
She looks like a ragamuffin.
Show up to that thing in a t-shirt too.
Well,
yeah, he was fixing the pool for 3 hours. Kyle, so we're gonna get these bangs on Kyle for like the next 2 years. You know that. She's gonna
when is Halloween, girl? When is Halloween coming out? And how big of a role does she even have in that movie? Come on,
I just want to see her
for you to
die.
have bangs for the whole season.
They just announced that the Halloween movie is being pushed to 2021 October.
What?
So she's gonna be nursing. She's nursing these bangs for like the next year. I don't understand why this bitch didn't get a clip in.
I was gonna say, why couldn't she just get like a clip on? Like
she should have done all kinds of things. And
she's going to be nursing the whole. I've been working on Halloween until next year. She is going to milk the whole. I'm working on Halloween until next year.
I can't hear Maddie. Is his mic muted?
While Denise, I can hear him. While Denise Richards is like making 18, Hallmark movies in like 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like
she is,
and still filming her soap.
Like, yeah, and she's playing the lead role and everything. So this bitch is memorizing everything. You know what I mean? So Kyle is down.
I'll watch Halloween to watch Kyle die. It's the same reason you watched House of Wax.
I don't think she's going to. Kyle was an original actress in the original Halloween movies. Like she was a little girl in that. I don't think she's gonna die. I think they'll keep her.
So she can keep her bangs.
It'll be like Brandy. It'll be like Brandy, and I Know What You Did Last Summer. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Okay, spoiler alert for everybody. If you've never seen I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, like in 1999, if you haven't seen it yet, Brandy's in that movie. Everybody was like, "Oh, Brandy's in a movie. She's in this movie." And the thing was that she was best friends with Jennifer Love Hewitt, and you love them. And then Brandy dies. But then at the last minute, they have Brandy come out the shadows because her manager worked a really good deal for that bitch. And that's probably the same shit that Kyle got. Kyle probably might get killed because they're like, we can't watch this bitch act. But let's bring her back out at the end and act like she's still alive. She's gonna hold somebody's hand. She'll be on a gurney. Like Kyle will be fine. Like I have a feeling.
Pretty much.
Okay. Bitch, please. You could never be me.
Oh my God.
The sign into the house.
I love it. That sign's amazing. I want it in my house.
Oh, I'll put it on shirt for you now.
How is it a sign that has anything to do with the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles?
Right?
Also, the other
I thought about that.
Bitch, please, you can never be me in a children's hospital.
Was that? I think that sign is what hangs between the two bathrooms at Sir. She had that on loan.
Yeah, right.
I'm just saying that, but it looks like something. Like the thing is that's
she
another
got it from Villa Blanca. Now the Villa Blanca's all closed up and everything.
She wanted glue everywhere, but that front foyer, when you walked in, she wanted at least Lisa Vanderpump paint to make everybody know that Lisa's not here. She's Lisa. Like
that's funny.
That's like, she always got to have some pink at her party to act like, she likes it.
Well, it's funny too because it did feel like a little because her house is amazing, but I don't think Faye Resnick like designed that for her.
Yeah,
I don't think that.
The house is an old house. Faye Resnick is the one who put in all like the tacky black and white stuff and everything. Like that's what Faye does to the house.
Yeah, but she helped like with the interior design of the house is what I'm saying. Like not just for the party, but I'm saying like that doesn't seem like it's something that Faye Resnick would have done for Kyle to have in her house. Like that's definitely Portia's doing or something. Like Portia was like, "Mommy, put that up," and Kyle was like, "Okay."
Oh my God, let's talk about Portia and like. Nobody had time to do my hair, Mom. Okay, we'll put it in that ugly bun that we do in the morning and when we're like, you're late for
school. Can we put it in the ragamuffin? Can we put it in the
like,
just do a ragamuffin top?
She was like the ugly one, like. And then when they flashed to Portia later, she had a scrunchie. Like, oh, Portia.
She's like, just do it, please. Just.
How old is she now? She's only like 12.
She might be, but the thing is like that poor girl, like she waited for somebody to do her hair, but Kyle had to be like, wait, you have to wait. So her hairstylist probably waited forever because Kyle didn't have shit to do in that party, but she kept coming downstairs to act like she was putting on tent and stuff. Like, like Kyle, you're not doing all that. We know you're not doing it. You have like a staff of how many? You know what I mean? There's a difference.
Even though she was bossy, I will say she used her manners, which I definitely appreciate. She kept saying please and thank you, and that goes a long way with me. So I was like, well, at least she's nice to people. I was like,
that's because she was there.
What's up? Oh, because cameras are on her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
like her guy that she has though. That like when she came down, he's just relaxing on the chair, and she's like, "What's going on? What's going?" He's like, "It's fine. I got everything going." Like he's just like,
Glenn didn't
Don't worry
bring
about
Fat Burger.
No Fat Burger. That's right.
Glenn
No
always
Ferris wheel
Fat
either,
Burger.
girl. We
Glenn is
didn't
an
have a Ferris
ongoing
wheel like we did for Farroween.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't they have
That's Fat
sushi
Burger.
again?
They had sushi, yeah.
I love.
I think they
Fat
always
Burger.
have sushi.
Which Camille was smart. Camille shows up early to get her plate, go sit somewhere to eat, and then she
Yeah.
can just be content for the rest of the party. Where everybody else is showing the plate, they don't get to eat.
Right.
How awkward was that though? So they're showing the scenes between Camille and Kimber, like sitting all like sullen and like eating their
There's sushi, right? Yeah.
and Kyle was showing the girls all the stuff. She's like, let's look at it all.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Camille's making small talk like, "Oh yeah, it's real. This place is pretty. Yeah, this place is great. You know, eating her sushi."
Hey, Camille knows they're just gonna come over here and just punch me one by one. Like that's what Camille was thinking. Why did
Pretty
I?
much.
Why did
Helicopter housewifing?
Right. I better get a free meal out of this if I'm gonna get punched.
For real? Like
Helicopter housewifing. They're all taking turns just coming in on her, and then they leave.
I love
The
when
worst, the worst
you
was
know-
Teddy's.
what?
Teddy's confrontation.
Oh, I
with
love that though. I
Camille.
love that where Teddy was just like, "We don't have to do the pleasantries." I was like, "Yeah, she'll just say it. Like you don't have to."
But when
pretend
she's like,
it's
"Is
fine."
there any way for me to get out of here right now?"
Yeah,
I don't want
She was
to.
desperate.
Teddy's
She was
scared.
just like, "Well, maybe I could dive through."
Well,
this
she's
window
pregnant
and,
too,
like,
so
not
Not
make a
kill my baby.
scene. Yeah, exactly. Maybe I could not cut myself diving through this glass window.
I don't like Teddy. I think she's boring. So the thing is, so the more that they can beat up on her,
I see that, but at the same time, I think she's beautiful. She's
Oh.
beautiful. She's got that going
She
for
is
her,
the prettiest girl.
and she is
But
pregnant, so that's something.
She
but
did let
yeah, she's
Camille
boring.
have it though.
I
she
think
did. She stuck up for herself, which I'm really proud of. Like she's like, you know what?
Okay.
I don't need I'm pleasantries. I don't need
Let's go
this.
back to that scene though, because that scene was shady as fuck on Kyle's behalf. Because what happened here is that Denise took Teddy aside. Let's go have this out for a second so we can think.
Yeah.
And Teddy is supposed to be Kyle's girl. Like Kyle's supposed to have her back. Like they're supposed to be the two ride or dies for each other. And then the thing is so she knows that she has Denise over there with Teddy, and she's above her head with Denise. Denise will rip your head off and act like it's nothing and walk out. You know what I mean?
Denise fucking Richards, of course
Yeah.
she will.
And so the thing is so Denise, she sat down, she was trying to act like, okay, well, yeah, so you keep saying that I keep running from situations, and so I'm talking to you now here in your face. And Teddy was like, and then Kyle just all of a sudden was like, oh, there's two cats fighting. Let's bring in this other one.
Yeah.
And like pushes Kyle and Camille in there. There was no need for her to push Camille into that situation.
So
Yeah.
unnecessary.
And Camille was definitely I felt like she was forcing like a compliment on Teddy. Like she's like, oh, you look so adorable. Like it didn't come fast. Like she was just trying to find something nice to say about a pregnant woman.
Yeah.
So it's like,
You're glowing.
You look adorable. I wrote that down too. Yeah.
you look like you. Or oh, that's cute for you. Look at you.
She
What
said,
are you craving right now? We can totally get it for you.
she said, you are adorable.
Oh,
you look great.
You ate well during the quarantine. How nice.
I love when Denise goes, do you want to sit? To Camille, and Camille was like, for a second. For a second. Like, because the thing is, Camille also, she doesn't back down either, because even when Rena came after her in that whole scene before, Camille was like, listen, if you want to dish it out, I've got it. I'm going to pass on this. Like,
Yeah.
so Camille, like, the thing is all the girls are friends from last year, and that's the problem we're having here. So the odd man out in this whole situation is Denise, and Denise still was getting along with Lisa Vanderpump. So who's odd out here? Let's push Denise out there because Denise is also.
Camille's not getting along with Lisa Vanderpump right now, even though she defended her.
I don't know how that's going on, but I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm saying last year Denise was still friends with Lisa Vanderpump. Denise
She was still friends with Lisa Vanderpump. Yeah.
Yeah, so she had no issue. So this year, when all the girls came back in, it was like they were cheering each other. It was high five because we got rid of the matriarch. We got rid of the baddest bitch, which was Lisa Vanderpump.
Yeah.
So now Kyle is the matriarch. She's high tier on this. Everybody else gets along. So the thing is so who do we not going to get along with? We'll pick on Sutton at the beginning. You know what I mean? So Sutton.
Well,
and
I
out.
don't think they really even picked on Sutton to. I mean, like not that harshly. Yeah, it wasn't anything crazy.
Yeah,
So.
but there was a little bit of stuff there with Sutton in the beginning, you know, like not wanting to like really be on her side and whatnot. But like, so it's always the odd man out. So Camille is not a man out at all times. So it's like, go for it. But if we get this Camille got she got a confessional at home. This means we're gonna get more Camille, right? Because why would we get one confessional from her?
Yeah, because we did get a confession.
No,
from
we're
her.
totally gonna get more.
So I mean, I feel bad for Camille though too, in the sense that, like you said, you know, like she's earned her diamond. Even last year, I think she earned her diamond because a lot of the show did revolve around her. I mean, they did like 2-3 episodes on her wedding alone, like, and then her house burning down. So I mean, like, she's definitely been a key player. I don't know why Bravo hasn't given her the diamond, because she definitely has.
She doesn't fully want it though, because she knows that she's going to get beat up on. So she makes more money if she just goes on for one episode. But then she also, I think one of the things was that, you know, when she finally was done with being, you know, one of the girls, she had cancer. She had all that other issues why she left the franchise for a while.
Yeah,
and now
she did say though on Twitter though, I remember it was like at the beginning before the show even aired, she said something on Twitter along the lines of the show should really not rely on friends of the show to carry the season.
There you
go.
So,
which that was a lot shady. But so I mean, if she doesn't want the diamond, then why is she making these mean tweets? Because she's an asshole on Twitter?
Well, yeah. But the thing is like, and that's also too, is it's like if you're seeing that you're getting yourself a beating, it's her only outlet at this point. Is like while you're watching the episodes, you want to go after them. And she was talking about them. They were tweets that they were showing were from when they were airing the reunion before. You know, and so she did come after like I told him. Like they all stabbed her. We're gonna all stab Caesar. Like
I wanted to go back to the Lisa Rinna though, confronting her with Eileen, because you know, like she has a thing. She's, you know, like you said, with a drive-by thing. You're an asshole on Twitter, and then like Lisa, like she usually starts the shit. Like, you know, she's known for giving us, you know, like the Munchausen's or people doing cocaine in your bathroom. She gives us all those great lines, but then Lisa ran away. Like she didn't stay and fight. Like she was like, okay, bye-bye. Like I don't need this anymore. Like why didn't you stay and fight? What happened? Like that could have been a really cool like bitch fight that we needed, and we didn't get it. Instead, Lisa ran to the girls and was like, well, I just had a moment with Camille. It didn't go so great.
Yeah.
So she's turned the pot that way. So she's not giving us.
You leave before you leave before you get hit back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, she did a drive-by. She literally did a drive-by. It was like, I'm gonna come by, I'm gonna punch you before you even know what hit you.
Yeah.
And leave Eileen here with you. See ya. See ya, Eileen.
Poor Eileen. Eileen was like, But I mean, it definitely was one of the most memorable parts of that episode, though. I think was that you're an asshole on Twitter. So
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean that.
We made shirts.
It was good stuff.
Yeah, Maddie made shirts. Our shirts are gonna be so cool.
So we mentioned that we saw Kathy, we saw Kris Jenner for a moment, who came in and just bid $25,000. See you guys.
She got money. She can do it. So it was Kimber though too. I feel like that Kimber might be someone that they're trying to groom to be a housewife.
Kimber's been around for years. The thing is,
okay,
yeah, and so I think Kimber. Number one, you need a ride or die girl, because Brandy brought her trans friend Mia. You know what I mean? Like
we were saying that we were like that girl's clearly trans. We were
okay.
Which is great. I love that they're bringing the diversity. We have Garcelle bringing Black people on. We have Brandy bringing on trans people. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
You're in Beverly fucking Hills. You're in LA. Like, not everybody is this.
Well, and Brandy is a white blonde, like, trust fund baby. That was in the movie when they were 5 years old.
Here, I need an Asian girl with a really, really like expensive house. You know what I mean? Like, I need this.
And Brandy is a friend to the LGBTQ community. You know, Ross Matthews has a chapter in his book about Brandy Glanville. So
that is the best chapter.
It's one of the best chapters in the book, actually.
So what we're talking about is if you read Ross Matthews' latest book, Name Drop, I have a signed copy here and at my office because I'm like that. Anyways, but anyways, he has a whole chapter about Brandy Danville and about her coming over their house because his ex was styling her at the time. Yeah. It is the best thing. It's Xanax and alcohol is basically what the chapter should be called.
Yeah, she drank like 2 bottles of wine and had a Xanax and then slept.
For a day.
But the point is, like, Brandy is not a stranger to this community at all. So she's out there, bringing, like you said, the diversity to the show, which is great, which we need, So.
In the Brandy Kim Richards kind of reunion, it was like, oh, we know these two.
Yeah. Well, and then what's funny too is when they all sat down for the auction, it was like all the girls sat down there front row except for Camille. Camille was at the table. Even Mia, her friend, Brandy's friend, got to sit with the girls at like the little front row spot where all the housewives were.
I don't think Camille wanted to though. I think Camille, after being called an asshole, she was like, I need to know.
It doesn't end it. 1 second. Yeah. No, we're not having technical difficulties. You're fine. It's still here.
What happened?
I don't know, girl. They're still here.
I'm gonna wait till they pop it back up. So as this is going, anyways, but we had all this. They had the video of her crying was just tragic of Brandy crying in the car, which is why.
Oh yeah, that was. She looked awful too in that video. I was like, ooh, girl.
I saw that when it first went up.
Wow. Yeah, and it's hard to watch. Now here's the thing, that's bullshit for Kyle though, to sit there and say that she felt bad because of this video and that's why she's gonna inviting her over. She's bringing her to weaponize her against Denise. We know this. Like, she knows that, like, Brandy's one of those people who knows where the bodies are buried and she's not afraid to talk about them. Which is why we didn't have a reunion between Brandy and Adrienne Maloof. Like, none of that happened. So
that would have been a great moment, but
a way back in.
Yeah, I would love them to
It's gonna give Brandy. It's gonna give Brandy like a motivation to get back a diamond, hopefully.
I hope so. I think Brandy's waited long enough. She paid her penance for being mean to Andy and all that shit, and so they get along now. And he knows how vital she is with the franchise. Yeah. I think that there's something there. It's just. I think Kyle's being an asshole. She brought these girls together and she knew who she was going to point at who. You know what I mean? At the certain times. And so,
talk about playing chess.
Yeah, that's what she's doing. Is that Kyle just.
She's Bobby Fischer right now.
Kyle has no redeeming qualities. I don't think. I think like she even the whole like charity shtick. It's all for the show. It's all the game. It's all the game.
Well, she even said it herself. She's like, for what I spent on this party, I could have just given it to charity.
Yeah,
exactly.
You could have.
Exactly.
Okay, I will be devil's advocate here because the thing is because I deal with this kind of stuff like this, like when it comes to like entertainment and when we produce these kind of events. We've produced concerts in the past for charity things, and so if you do have people that do this underwriting like that, they are bringing their people with, and so what they're doing is that. Kris Jenner now knows about this foundation.
True.
Everybody in the room now knows. And then what you also do too is that you guarantee those paddle raises. She called those certain friends there to make sure that she was going to make that $200,000. She wasn't that nervous, and she was going to make that money. And when you throw those kind of big parties, you're contributing back to the economy. I think that it's a good part that way. Yeah. And the thing is look at what San Diego Pride does. They could put all that money back into the community, that $250,000, and that they spend on the festival stage, those kind of things, and all the prices they pay. You can take all that money, you can disperse it back into the community in that way, but you can actually disperse it by
No, and to be clear, it has nothing to do with the party itself. And like I totally get that there's so much like now, like you said, now there is a new donor. Like I get that component. I'm saying Kyle's reasonings for doing it is not altruistic. It's not for anyone but herself.
Well, and let's face it.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't think Kyle has redeeming qualities.
Well, and let's face it. She brought all those women together so that there would be drama without having her name all over it.
It's a tax write-off. So the thing is, if you guys go back and watch more of their parties, Kyle throws these parties 3 times a year. and
She does. Yeah.
Not for charity. She throws a black and white ball or a white party every year, and it's never for a foundation or anything. So if you make it for a foundation and you're doing it through your businesses, then you have tax write-offs in the other side of it. So the thing is, it's good for her to do this. Do you know what I mean? So like in like the whole long run. And so it's just so her saying that like I'm gonna spend this money I can just give it right to them. You actually she probably made more than she's actually spent. You know what I mean? At the end of the day.
Oh, 100%. Like I said, and this is not like, and I'm so glad that it is like, you know, funds for the charity. Like you said, it's like now Kris Jenner is on their donor list, and like that generate like there is an entire backlog of the extra and just sorry, I get nervous on camera.
Don't get nervous on camera because you're pretty.
See, this is why like I don't have an OnlyFans. I don't take myself that seriously.
See, you should start an OnlyFans. You'll make money. I'm not doing one, but
no, we're too lazy. We're just like, if they want to watch us eat food and cuddle, like, and that's it. Then
do I have to come up with a new name? Because that seems to be like the thing. Is like when people start an OnlyFans, they come up with a new name
or a porn name,
and I'm just like,
oh my god. I want everybody to wear their OnlyFans name on t-shirts when we first start going back to bars, when it's all like lifted. You're like, oh, you are Hunger Daddy, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that needs to be implemented so you can be like, oh, you are that guy. Because it's some of those guy bitches too who are like, I'm my OnlyFans. They're like, what? So I'm trying to see if there's anything else that we haven't covered. We have a long episode today. Anything else? We have the PK. We talked about PK talking to Aaron. We talked about the girls all basically going in on Camille and then that whole thing. I love that we're going to take this next week. Is that we have the brandy of it all. We're going to have the thruple situation that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So
we knew.
Wait for that comment.
Yeah, we knew this episode was going to like roll over into next week. I really feel like, you know, them auctioning the things like and showing that did not need to happen. Like, we're not interested in that. Like, I don't give a fuck about that. I want to see the girls fight. But it ate up screen time for us. So, because of course, I mean, this whole episode I just thought was a really great, like, meaty episode. I remember, like, we were watching it and we're fast forwarding and we're like, we're only 30 minutes in. Oh my God, yes, we're getting so much more. But yeah, I mean, I'm totally excited for next week and I want to see this all unfold. So, I mean, and we're finally going to get the trip to Rome. So that's good.
In that dry wig saying we're going to Rome. Like, Breonna, why do you have that thirsty wig on your head? Like, that is like...
All of a sudden, her hair's super long, and I was just like, oh, that definitely...
That hair is it's the blonde version of Witch Hazel from The Sword and the Stone. Like,
it's a hate crime. Let's face it. It's a hate crime wig.
She's just there.
That was like her wig gift free with purchase, I think, because you know she's been doing so many wigs lately. Now they probably just threw her one, and she's like, "Well,
they were like, here." They're like, "Here, take this one."
Episode.
Wait, Rinna looks so expensive when she goes out. You know what I mean? Like Rinna, like
she looks great. She's definitely
But then when they go to her house, she has like rats. Like,
I love her confessional look.
You should. I think, like, if you're at home, be comfortable at home. You know,
like,
go out and fucking do it up.
Pink confessional look.
I love her confessional look with the pinkish magenta and the long, like, wavy, like, hair to here. That thing she looks amazing there.
I like her eye makeup there.
See, and I hate the eye makeup.
No. There's two confessional looks. There's the one with the pink, like, magenta looking color with the. No. The bright eye makeup is like she's got like a zebra pattern and a ponytail. I don't like that look.
No, that's I like that one.
No. You're talking about Rinna with the. You're talking about Rinna with the lighter eye makeup, and it's some kind of pattern.
We're gonna check.
Hang on.
The zebra one's gross.
Yeah, exactly. That one, the leopard print.
I think it's like leopard or something. Yeah, that one.
I don't like
not like that one. For the record, I do not like that one.
And I don't like her eye makeup on the other one.
Oh, you don't like her eye makeup on the pink one?
No, I don't.
That's not bad.
See, I like her eye makeup there.
Yeah. I have to say the MVP of the episode fashion-wise, I thought was Dorit. That dress was fucking everything. Like, did she make that herself or is that like is that a Chanel dress? Because you know she
That girl
loves
doesn't
Chanel.
make anything
Everything,
herself.
like, I mean, I don't know if you follow her on Instagram,
Mr.
but it's
Shippy.
Chanel everything with her. So
Here's the thing: is Dorit's hitting it out of the park this season because she's fun to look at.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like that's the thing is like Dorit is giving you stuff to like look at more so than even Erica Jane. Erica Jane is kind of like off her game right now. Like we're not.
yeah, her stuff hasn't been as great. It hasn't been as extravagant, you know, because like, I mean, remember when they went to Germany, she had the latex thing. Even when they went to, when they were they in London that one year where she did like the S&M police officer look, like that was great. Like, I mean,
Erica is comfortable this year, and you can tell
yeah,
she's not wearing
I
stuff.
think she's just
not,
over it. Yeah.
Like that's the Erica when she has like the latex stuff on and everything. It's a different Erica, and it comes into the room a little bit differently too. So
yeah,
I don't know. I'm like I am very appreciative this season is going so much better than like last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but the thing is that Housewives of Beverly Hills, they really love to build a season around like one fight at the beginning and then a second fight at the end.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
so-
Because I remember last year it was like 5 episodes about the dog, and we were like, dude, we're
6
over this damn
episodes
dog.
later, we're still having the same argument.
But I mean, it did make
Last
for
year-
good TV. So
Was it last year or the year before when it was just a fight about Dorit was late to lunch with Petty?
that was the year before, I think, too, because I think that was also the year of Pantygate, which
Yeah.
Pantygate was pretty great too. So
Oh
was
yeah,
long
and everyone like. Oh
What's
wait,
up?
what did we start watching mid-season? Where was it Dorit that was like late to who's?
And she got glammed and late.
No, that's a
to,
different situation.
That's
So
the
that was
I'm just like, really?
this
Why
season.
why do you want to care about this so much?
because
that
Kyle
was
didn't
Kyle.
get
Kyle
to.
wanted to give a shit about Dorit being late to Teddy's
that's
thing.
yeah, that's why I hate Kyle.
And she got glammed up. And Kyle decided she didn't like that.
Kyle's jealous of everything.
Yeah.
At all
Sorry for rehashing things that you have already talked about.
It's like,
I'm
you know,
excited.
like when Kyle went to Sutton's house and she was like, "Oh, you have call-ins like me." Like everything has to go back to her. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. So,
Like Garcelle clocked Kyle so hard.
mhm.
Like all her wigs across time were snatched because like Garcelle was like, you don't care about like anyone else. You don't talk about anyone but yourself. And like Kyle's fake ass tears are the best because
Well, I
Kyle, unlike Luann, can create fake tears.
Yeah.
I listened to an interview with Garcelle on Bit Sesh. They put one on today, and I listened to it earlier, and I think it was from like a couple weeks ago. But Garcelle had not talked to Kyle since taping. Like she's one of the only people who she hasn't talked to. So there is a divide there. And
she
so-
did say that though too. I remember like before they did press for the show, like they were saying which housewives did you connect to, and Garcelle said that Kyle did not really open up to her that much. She said they didn't really click, and then Garcelle even addressed it to Kyle, like when she was like, "Hey, I talked to you. I feel like you talk at me or you just glaze over me." Which I mean, we don't know if that's true or not. I mean, I want to say no, but
But thinks it's true.
now that we're hearing this, though, I mean, that's completely different.
See, I think the thing is that Kyle probably Garcelle wasn't a pawn for her game, and she wasn't a catalyst for anything. So she doesn't need Garcelle. That's the thing.
So she doesn't need her. Yeah. So
She doesn't do anything to her storyline right now.
But hopefully, you know, Garcelle, like you said, is going to step up because, you know, we've seen the previews of shows where she tells Lisa Rinna, "Hey, Lisa Rinna, you're the villain in this situation, or you're the bad guy in this situation."
Yeah.
You know, so we still have that soundbite that we got, but we haven't seen it yet. So hopefully, you know, Garcelle is going to come in and step up and play the game. So
And we
I
haven't
think she will. So because she hasn't disappointed us at all, I think.
No,
she's just been disappointed in the
we
fact that
want
she hasn't
so
been
much
as
more.
involved with the
We
girls.
didn't get to see yet, though. Ooh, you're so angry. We haven't got
that yet either. Yeah, you're so angry. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't gotten that yet.
Does that happen though, where things appear in the like clips, like the previews of the season, and then not in the show? Does
No,
that
they're always
happen?
in the show.
No, they always come.
Always? Okay, good.
Yeah. What they will do is they will give you little Easter eggs. Oh, Gunther, where you were talking about Jennifer Tilly, that they gave us that scene that they didn't have before. So did you guys watch the episode before? so they, you know how they rerun the episode of like the week before at 8 o'clock, and then they put the new episode at 9.
Are we still in Beverly Hills? I'm so sorry that I've been in and out. I do.
It's fine. The episodes they put at 9 o'clock actually had deleted scenes, and they had a whole scene with Jennifer Tilly because Jennifer Tilly and Sutton are actually friends.
Yeah, we saw that a little bit, like going into the new episode because we caught like the back end of it, but we didn't watch that whole
Jennifer
episode.
Tilly, a housewife.
Yes.
They should make Jennifer Tilly a housewife.
Oh, please
I'm not down.
do it.
What all was saying, Jennifer? What was Jennifer saying?
She had a lot to say in that little scene. I was like,
she did say a lot. Yeah,
it was awesome.
Oh, I love Jennifer Tilly.
But I don't think I'd want to see Jennifer Tilly
as a housewife.
As a housewife, I don't know. There's nothing that really like
so
attracts me to her.
I would like to see Jennifer Tilly as a housewife. I would like to see them bring in Carney Wilson. Bring Carney back to be a housewife.
Would watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Carney Wilson, when she had that episode, she was crazy as fuck, and like all about getting along and all that. I was like, we can use this on the show. Bring her ass in because you know she'll have a meltdown eventually. I
mean, but is she friends with any of these other girls? Because I mean, that is the rumors about the girls. Yeah, because they did Celebrity Apprentice together, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's what they're saying. They're saying that the girls, they try to get people who are already friends with each other or know of each other. So that way they can kind of like, you know, all get along.
I don't think we need to bring back Kim Richards.
No, I don't think we need to bring Kim Richards back either. I would like to bring Eileen back. I would like to bring Brandy back. At first, you know what? I was super excited too when we go to the house in Malibu. I thought they were going to. Well, at first I thought they were at Teddy's house, but then they're at Camille's house, and we briefly see Kimber and her hair is up. I thought it was Yolanda for a minute, and I was like, "Is that Yolanda?" And I was like, "No, it's not Yolanda. It's Kimber." But like, I mean, I didn't think Yolanda was a great housewife, but I mean, I was like this episode would have been so full. She's the only one that was really missing from this like little reunion of the revolving door of everyone coming in at the party, you know? Because you're like, oh, look, there's Adrienne, there's Eileen, there's Brandy, there's like, you know, that girl. It's like, okay, if Yolanda would have came in, that would have been really cool. But I don't know if these girls are still friends with her after everything that's happened with her, you know, because she's had Lyme disease. She got her divorce from David Foster. We don't know what's going on.
I think she's still friends with Brandy. Like her and Brandy rekindled their friendship, and I think she's with somebody else on the shows. But I don't know. I think she kind of gave us all she could give to in the past. Like she no longer has like the big house and all that kind of thing. You know, Kylie Jenner bought her house. Kylie Jenner has that fridge with the lemons. My love.
Oh, Kylie Jenner bought her house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's crazy.
Kylie Jenner owns the house with the lemons, my love. With the lemons. I'm so great. I'm so happy that you're here, my love.
My king, I made you the chicken you like.
with all the plastic vegetables in the freezer. We knew that she didn't have all those vegetables. Like try to act like she had all those red peppers. Bitch, you haven't.
She staged that refrigerator.
Yeah, everything was staged. So there was that whole thing. Okay, so I'm gonna change gears real quickly as we are gonna like start wrapping up our little episode. So what are you guys binging this week? So besides Housewives, Nelson, what are you watching?
Well, we're watching Drag Race. That's something that we definitely watch.
Colin's a late bloomer on Drag Race.
Me and Colin are watching the documentary on HBO, like
I'll Be Gone in the Dark,
or it's about the
I'll Be Gone in the Dark.
The rapist killer guy from like up north. They call him Irons, the East Area rapist guy. It was Patton Oswalt's wife. So like she did the whole thing. So we're 2 episodes into it. We have the 3rd one coming up.
What is it on?
It's pretty cool.
It's on HBO.
What's up?
It's on HBO.
Yeah,
it's on HBO Max. Yeah, Colin's been watching it with me.
So it's been around for a little bit. That's with the Indian guy. I forget it. Isn't it?
What?
Wait.
So it's I'll Be Gone in the Dark. So it's about the Golden State Killer. He was a serial rapist turned murderer in the Sacramento area in the late 70s and 80s, like assaulted and murdered like 60, 70 different women, like, and their husbands too. And so it's the first few episodes are about oh god, McNamara, what's her first name? But it's about Patton Oswalt's wife. She as they were meeting back in the early 2000s, they were but she's got real big into true crime, and like her masterpiece is like her book on the Golden State Killer.
And this doesn't give anything away, but like she passed away like literally months before they caught him.
I think
so the book was released posthumously, and now like the story is a few years later. The first episode was great. It was really all about her and like her love of true crime. And then now we're really getting into the meat of the Golden State Killer.
Huge.
So it's great show so far. I like Nelson. I want to watch the next episode after this. If you're
So Gunther, what are you watching?
Supermarket Sweep.
yeah.
Yeah, I am too.
I love it. We haven't watched it yet, but I'm sure we will. So.
Oh my god!
I am.
So it's a whole capsule collection they gave you. So, are you?
Yeah.
Have you noticed too? If you actually go over to Amazon Prime, they have 2 seasons of it there too. Like
Really?
yeah, of actual seasons. So when you run out of it on Netflix, you can run over to Amazon Prime because there's more picks.
Perfect.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't want to. I watch like an episode every night to make myself feel better about life.
That's why I watch Housewives.
Huh?
Makes me feel better about myself.
Yeah, I watch
I
Housewives.
love
all
the
time.
hairstyles.
Yeah. We've been
secret,
we've also been for Colin we've been
lesbians
doing
and gay
old
couples.
Drag Race.
Wait.
So we
Too many
Sorry.
people at once. Gunther, what were you saying?
Finish, girl.
Oh no, I was just saying I love the hairstyles and the secret lesbian and gay couples on the show.
Oh my god, yes, it's the
They're
best. Everybody has that Sally Brown like hair with the bangs and the scrunchie. It's the best.
Yes.
So okay, and now Nelson, what were you saying? What show were you watching?
Oh, we're also just binging old episodes of Drag Race because Colin is getting really into it now. So we just finished season 6 where Bianca Del Rio won. So and then we're gonna start All Stars 2, but then we decided that we should watch season 7 first because Ginger Minj and Katya are on season 2 of All Stars before, so he kind of gets a grasp of
wait, let's
and
go back.
like who's going in with what. So, but he doesn't know who wins the season, so it's kind of fun for us because we've already seen it. So, also season
I don't
7
know who wins
it's
season
the
7. Don't
lackluster
spoil it
season
for
where you're
me.
just like, I don't like any of these girls. All these girls are awful because I think season 7 really was a terrible season for Drag Race. So it's kind of fun to rewatch it because I actually don't remember it because they weren't that memorable.
And it's like their drag is great. Like their drag is great, but they are all horrible.
With the
Season
exception of
7.
Ginger and Katya, who are funny, but that's about it.
I mean, but like,
Season 7 is in the series
Violet
10.
Chachki, she is just
Yeah, we got Ross and we got Carson as the host.
Yeah.
So Santino left. Yeah.
Season
No
7
spoilers
wins.
for this binge bitch right here.
Yeah, season 7.
Still, I'm just like, God, I don't want any of them to win except for
Yeah.
Katya. And I know Katya doesn't win. I know Trixie does. I know they don't win. But like, they're the only two I like.
Yeah, the thing about season 7 is it's the most aware season at this point of what the juggernaut of RuPaul's Drag Race became. So
Yeah.
it's the season 2 that like, so if you were 11 years old, 12 years old when Drag Race came out, you're now 18, 19 starting your drag thing and you're basing yourself off of RuPaul's Drag Race. So season 7 is when the whole franchise changes and people come in with a preconceived notion of this is what I'm going to say to get on the t-shirt. This is what I'm going to do to like make sure that I get my time.
This is what they want. This is what I should
Be
be.
the bad guy. I was cast to be the alternative one. I'm cast to be the rehab victim. Like each person takes on personas. And season 7 is when it happens. Then it breaks because in season 8, season 9, it goes back into something. It has an upsweep. But season 7, I think, is the season. I think everybody's like, ugh, because it's just they're thirsty and sweaty.
It's a low.
Yeah.
Like,
so loving that. I have not watched this week's Canada Drag Race yet, but I need to watch that. So
we need to watch
I need
it.
to watch.
yeah, Canada.
Isn't it coming to Logo?
It started
Yes.
now. It
Yeah.
started.
Do
off.
they
Canada's
have the first
pretty
3
good.
episodes?
I saw the first episode. I'm into it. So Hopefully it can deliver.
Like it feels like season 2 of the regular Drag Race, which is why I like the Canada one. Is it has a little bit of a vintage vibe. They're making shit. You know what I mean? Like we don't do that anymore in America because everybody comes with an Austin Scarlet dress. I mean, like that's you know what I mean? It's that kind of thing.
Thank you, Courtney Act.
That's what I was telling Colin. Is that's kind of the change you see from 6 to 7. Is there's not as much. I even told him I was kind of hard pressed to remember when there was like sewing challenges often. You know.
I mean, and I like Courtney Act. Courtney Act was like showing up with full suits, like and the wings, and like and the judges ate that up. So what else are you going to do?
She was a celebrity already. That's why.
Yeah,
she was.
Yeah, she had a little bit of money and that's big under her. So I've been watching that. Okay, so I discovered something on HBO Max because they forced us to have it now because I have HBO. So now I have HBO Max, and it was like trying to get up on things.
Which one?
The first thing I started watching is so sad. I started watching Nancy Drew.
I've heard good things.
Really fucking good, you guys. And the thing is so I read the book when I was a kid because I'm gay, and like if it had a girl on the cover, I was gonna read it.
Wait, you're gay?
Yeah. Can you tell? But
oh my goodness, I had no idea.
I know.
I thought you just like rainbows.
I love them.
I thought you were just a creature of God.
Caftans.
Yeah.
You're just a
I love
creature of
rainbows,
God,
guys.
Lord.
It happened. So like the whole Nancy Drew series is what's fun about it is that each episode is named after one of the books, but Gunther, you would love it. It's got a Riverdale vibe to it, but they're all like 19 through like 25. So like the fact they're having sex doesn't make it so like gross. Because they're not 16-year-olds. But
isn't Ellen a producer on it?
I don't know.
Does she produce it?
Maybe. I don't even know. I just started watching it because I was like, I like Nancy Drew because I read them. But they do it with Supernatural though. So there's a whole other vibe to it. So there's like ghosts and demons. It's kind of got like an old charm, supernatural vibe. I like it. And so I pretty much got through like season 1 and not to wait because we are all in coronavirus. So we're not going to get season 2 from that. But I would suggest to watch that. And so I do love that. And then we're rewatching Kimmy Schmidt.
I've been watching last week. I started watching Dark as well. So everyone like I am in my COVID recovery. I had COVID last week. I'm luckily very fortunate to have a very mild case, and I was always wearing my mask, always like washing my hands.
Yeah,
and so
it's just scary thing is that we were doing everything right.
What the amazing thing is, no one else that I was around has had any sort of symptoms. So, like it's very peculiar, very odd, but I'm also just incredibly thankful for just having a very mild case. I really had 3 bad days at most, and then the rest of the week I was just kind of like tired.
But during that,
but after that, during that I was binging Dark.
Okay.
Dark on Netflix.
It's the German show.
Very slow show. It's a total sci-fi time travel, and so it's like it's building the backstory of the present time and 33 years ago. So it was very slow, but the season ends very well. I'm moving on into season 2, and everyone says season 2 is just bonkers, like one of the best sci-fi shows that they've seen. Been watching Community. It just is like breaks, and then we've been like, we need to get back to it. We need. I've already seen it, but Battlestar Galactica.
We were on a sci-fi binge.
Yeah, we need to get back to that.
I was on a total sci-fi binge. I started the season with I started quarantine season, guys. The quarantine.
I'm binging the quarantine.
Yeah, I was binging like all the Star Wars shit. And that just took me down all kinds of other rabbit holes and Mandalorian and all that, which I really appreciated. So it's funny that my binge bitches are like on the.
We need to get back on Mandalorian.
Potter and Mandalorian, you will love it. You will love it. It's magical.
Yeah, we have like maybe 2-3 episodes left.
And that's my fault. I have a very, very bad habit of watching 80-90% of a season
and then stopping.
Because it's very tough for a show to keep my interest. It
Really?
really is.
I will plow
Like
through
I love
things
movie. I love movies. I'm a movie person. Series have a tough time
Following through.
I will watch 80% and then I'm just like, oh, I'll get to the finale, and then I never do. It took me forever to get to like the season 2 finale of Ozark.
Yeah,
It took me like literally the week before season 3 coming out.
But you best believe we binged season 3.
But we binged season 3.
We
Season 3
binged
was
season 3.
good.
Same thing for Dead to Me. That was the last thing I binged with him and Nelson was season 2 of Dead to Me because that shit was good.
That was
It's
good.
getting a final season. It's an amazing show.
Bored with it.
And I'm in this area where I'm so sad that these shows are ending, but I'm glad that they're ending while they're on top.
Yeah. What'd you say, Gunther?
I'm bored with season 2 of Dead to Me.
Oh,
See,
I like episodes in. And I'm like,
How many?
Dead to Me?
How
3
many episodes are you in?
It was
3.
so good. We loved
Keep
it.
Keep going.
Yeah, keep
It's
going.
amazing.
Especially like the last
Really
4 or 5. Just
Yeah.
oh my god.
He's gonna give it a
I
chance,
do,
girl.
I
You'll
do
like
agree
it.
with you, Gunther. There is that little middle season lull. So like but it ends very, very well. But I see where you're coming from for sure. I get bored with shows. I really do. I'm bored of Community right now.
Yeah, because that's all seasons are in some cases. It's the high of the previous season, slump towards the middle, and then the latter half becomes all set up for the next season.
I gave up on the last season of Sabrina. I couldn't handle it. Did you finish it?
That's what I hear. I hear that the latest season is awful, but I have yet to make it past season 2. So,
did you finish it, G, Gunther?
Which one?
Did you finish Sabrina?
No, I fell out of it.
Yeah, see, it was bad.
It's not coming back, so I was like, fuck it.
Yeah, I just didn't love it, and sometimes I do like to have like a final like thing. Okay, so I'm gonna take us out of this episode. I want to thank you guys so much. This has been fun because it's like Pride weekend, so you guys have to hang out on a Friday.
Happy Pride, everybody!
Happy
Happy Pride! So follow along. Just real quickly, let's go ahead and let people know that if you want to follow Gunther on IG, he's at Gunther Vanderrules, and on TikTok at Gunther Vanderpump. And you guys can follow Nelson at Yasmin with 2 A's, 3 S's, and a KW. We have also Colin, who's over at BamBam_Go. And then you guys can also follow Maddie Bear, 1981. So thank you guys all so much for joining us today. This has been a fun episode of Binge Bitches. It is albeit very long episode of Binge Bitches, our longest one. Make sure that you guys like and subscribe to Binge Bitches on YouTube. Thank you guys so much. It has been
Follow me for more recipes.
More recipes.
Thank you for having us.